Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and I get asked a lot by my customers, how do I get the mats so clean? I want to share with you guys how you could potentially clean your mats, your carpets in your vehicle without any sort of fancy equipment. Now, I am going to be using a drill brush. This is not necessarily fancy equipment. Most of us have a corded or cordless drill lying around the house just for odds and ends jobs. If not, you can pick these up for like $40–50. They're great to have around the house. They're also great for doing interiors for your vehicle, just to agitate any loose soil on your seats, carpets, things like that. You can even help agitate dried skin, things like that that are kind of embedded and get caked into your seats. It's a great way to agitate, get that loose, and keep your seats in better condition longer. But first things first, you could potentially use a tire brush similar to this. It's kind of stiffer, but you know, this is going to be one option that you could use if you don't have access to the drill brush. It's just going to take a little bit more elbow grease. So I do kind of take the lazy man's route where I'm going to use the drill brush. You can pick up a set of these drill brushes off of Amazon for about $15. It comes with various different colors, sizes. You can get white for your seats, yellow for the carpets. I wouldn't recommend, anything really more coarse than the yellow, although the green and red are very similar to hardness. But first things first, we have our rigid 5 horsepower. You can use a home vacuum as long as it has good suction. But I like to use the wet dry vac. That's actually what we're going to use for sucking the water out once we scrub it and rinse it. But let's go ahead and do a quick pre-vacuum, get as much of the loose soil off, and then we're going to use our drill brush. You would not want to go straight from this step to extracting, because you've got too much loose soil and you're going to just end up having to work harder, and you're going to have problems with wicking, which is essentially the dirt. Once it gets wet, it'll kind of sink to the surface from the water, but then as your solution dries, it kind of lifts the dirt to the surface of the carpet, and then it just kind of sits there, and we call that wicking. You can go over it with a microfiber to remove it, but essentially you're wanting to do as deep cleaning as possible. So this is where you could take either your brush, come in here and agitate, and that does well enough. We got a lot of hair in these mats. Does well enough by itself. But if we were to take this drill brush, you can just see the dirt shooting out of it. You can just see all that loose soil that got stirred up. This is kind of the critical step that a lot of people skip when it comes to deep cleaning mats. So now that we've gotten all of that, agitated and lifted to the surface, we're going to come back and do our vacuum. Alright, so we've got everything vacuumed. Now we are ready to do our shampooing. Now, you could be saying, what cleaner do I use? There are some guys that will tell you can use a solution like Super Clean, readily available at Walmart. You can use Spray 9. You can use, as far as if you're just looking for something available retail. Some people will use Shout or even Resolve, the carpet cleaners. What I find, even like a Meguiar's APC for some professional detailers, or even Super Degreaser some will use, or LA's Awesome, things like that. I am not a fan of using strong alkaline all-purpose cleaners like that. Mainly because, yes, they may clean, but what happens is that residue does not get rinsed out properly. And so that cleaner will essentially act like a glue for all future soiling. So your carpets will get dirtier faster when using a product like that. So what I try to do is I will actually use a product that is specifically used for carpet cleaners. Now, some of you may say, I'm just looking for something retail available. I'm not looking, to spend an arm and a leg. There are products out there that you can pick up, even if you were to go to like Home Depot, like their Zep carpet, high traffic carpet cleaner. You can pick up something like that for a very affordable price. What I'm going to be using today is more of a professional level. This is Bonnet Pro Rocket Revive It. And this is what a lot of professional carpet cleaners will use. What I love most about it, it is a hydrogen peroxide based citrus end-cap solution. What that means is that it will take the dirt and essentially encapsulate it and lift it to the surface. It's not super high foaming, but it's foaming enough that it's going to lift that dirt to the surface. And it rinses free, and it will leave no residue behind as long as you obviously are rinsing it to the point where you have no more foam remaining. So I'm going to use a professional product, but like I said, you can pick up products at Home Depot, even Folex. You can use the Zep carpet cleaners that are available there, but I prefer to use something that is more specifically made for carpets because of residue control. So our next step is going to be get our cleaner out, and we're going to apply that to our carpets. I lied. Next step, because we're going to be using our wet dry vac, we're going to go ahead, empty out the contents of the vacuum. We're going to remove our filter. This is a great time. If you need to clean it, go ahead, reverse your hose, put it at the top and kind of blow out your filter. That way it's ready for the next time you use it. But you don't want to get your filter, especially in this state with all the soiling on it, wet. We're going to remove filter, empty this out, and that way we have our wet vac ready to go. Alright, so we've got our wet vac ready to go, filters pulled out. We've done our pre-vacuuming. I have my new drill brush head on here. This is the flat one. You can use white or yellow. I'm just using white in the moment. I have my pump sprayer. You can use this in a normal bottle, but I have Bonnet Pro Rocket Revive It mixed around 4:1. It's pretty strong, but these are dirtier carpets. You can actually have this all the way to like 1:10. But we're just going to give this a liberal application. You do not have to be afraid about using too much solution because of the way that we are rinsing this. It is going to rinse completely free. You can already see the peroxide going to town, fighting all of the dirt. And we're actually just going to do these first two right here first, so that way I don't have a whole lot of overspray that I'm battling. We're just going to give these kind of a minute, let that work. Every time, this is very similar to polishing. Left to right, up to down, left to right. That way you're stirring the pile in several directions. can already see a great improvement. Now a lot of that is foam. And then what we're going to do next is I have my pressure washer. I have a Sunjo SPX 3000. This is just an electric pressure washer. I have my white tip. We're going to kind of stay back at a distance, but put our foot kind of on it. And we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. Essentially, you just want to rinse till you see no foam. I'm gonna go do this. Alright, then you can actually take your tire brush, just kind of scoop the majority of that water out. Now some would say that's sufficient. I'm going to take it a step further. We're going to use our wet vac now and try to suck up as much water as possible. Alright, so we've got a majority of the liquid vacuumed out. It's still pretty wet. We're just going to take our microfiber, just go over the surface. You'll be surprised how much additional soiling and liquid that'll pick up. You want to do this on a sunny day, not on a cloudy or overcast or a rainy day, because you're going to have a hard time getting it to dry. So then our next step, I am fortunate enough I have a wall, but you just put this out in the sun, let it air dry for a few hours. Or if you have, a place that you can kind of clip it, let gravity kind of help you out, but you'll just have to kind of monitor, make sure you don't have, soiling kind of dripping down. I like to kind of lay it flat because then it dries a little bit more evenly. But we're just going to put this in the sun, let that dry, and that'll be good to go by the time the customer picks it up tonight. Alright, so we have done our vacuum agitation. We treated with our chemical. We did our high pressure rinse. You could use a hose with just like a jet stream, or just some sort of powerful nozzle, and then use your wet dry vac, follow up with a microfiber, and we've got night and day results. All the heavy staining is gone. We've got a clean, consistent finish. We don't have to worry about residue. We gave it a really good rinse, but we didn't damage. Now this does have the plastic backing, and I would say if you're using the mats that have kind of that cloth backing, you might not want to use as much moisture to rinse. You might have to do more of a kind of dry agitation. You can see we still got some moistness going on the carpets, but it's not dripping wet. I don't have any puddles underneath. You'll just have to kind of pay special attention to your edges as water kind of settles to the outside. Maybe just come up with your microfiber and just mop it up just to prevent any sort of wicking. Could I get better results with an extractor? Probably. Could I get faster results? For sure. But that doesn't mean you have to have an extractor to get great results. So I hope you guys enjoy this little tutorial on how I would deep clean carpets. This is kind of how I started out in my business, and I actually would use this same exact technique without the pressure washer, obviously, on the inside of the carpets. I would use a hose, I would agitate with my chemical, and I would rinse with the hose, and then I would suck up with the wet dry vac. So you can get creative when you are determined, and it's a great way to kind of start a detailing business and to grow your business. So thanks guys for watching. We're gonna keep moving on this detail, but we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.